Hey everybody, what's going on? Anybody here? I have no idea why I put my webcam so far away, but today I want to talk a little bit about mouse pads. And when you're going to talk about mouse pads, you're basically going to come down to two things. You're either going to get a hard mouse pad, which has got a plastic type of surface, or you're going to get a cloth or soft mouse pad. Currently, this is how my setup looks. I have a, this is an XXL mouse pad here. This is a cloth one, and then on top of it, I actually have a plastic mouse pad. I actually just got this one today. I actually have an extra one, and I'll tell you guys the problem with the plastic mouse pads in just a second. By the way, this is a Cougar mouse that I'm using. I will make a review about this in a little bit. I'm still testing it out, so just ignore this mouse. Basically, when it comes down to mouse pads, a plastic one or a hard surface one is going to slide a lot more. You can see that I'm pushing this just a little bit, and this actually slides a lot more. When you're talking about a cloth mouse pad, it's not going to slide as much. You see that I'm pushing it with the same amount. I'm actually pushing it even with more force, and it's not sliding as much. So most people say that for low sensitivity, where you want to be more accurate, you want to use a cloth mouse pad. And if you're liking to play with more sensitivity and you like to do those 180 turns, that's what I like to do. This is how I play. I actually play from my wrist. So when I play CSGO or any other first-person shooters, I don't do this movement. You see a lot of pro players, they will do this sort of whole arm movement. I just like to move my wrist. And even when I was on the cloth, I would do the same thing. I would just move my wrist. The problem that I have with cloth is that I don't like the way cloth feels on my palm or my wrist or whatever you want to call it. It kind of irritates me. I have that same feeling when you take your fingernails on a chalkboard and you pull it down. That's the same kind of like feeling that I get when I play on a cloth. So I actually play with a plastic one or a hard pad because it just feels better on my wrist, and it's a pure personal preference. The other thing that helps me is that I like to play with higher sensitivity, so a hard pad is actually going to make it a lot easier to move it around faster, because there is less friction. Now, there are a couple of different hard pads. You can see that both of these are hard pads. I'm trying to get my camera to focus, but you can see that this one actually has a little bit of a texture here, which actually doesn't slide as much. So it's not just a pure plastic, it actually does have a little bit of friction that it adds to it. While this one is also another hard pad. This one does not have. So there are actual different types of hard pads that you can use. For example, this one is going to slide a lot more, and right now it's kind of sitting at an angle because it's sitting on my phone, but this one is going to slide a lot more than it slides on the G440 from Logitech. You can see that this one, I'm trying to kind of use the same force. I don't have anything to explain it, but if you guys trust me, this is a Funk mouse pad, Funk F-Series 10XL. So I think like the friction, or F, whatever it stands for, it's like 10, and I don't know what is on this one. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is there are different types of hard pads. One would slide more, one would slide less. And then if you don't like it, you can use a cloth mouse pad. If you're going to end up using a cloth mouse pad, you're probably going to end up using the SteelSeries QCK, and this is the plus version. Because this one's actually pretty huge. I mean, you can see that from one side to the other side, I mean, you got like a mile to travel. So this is what a lot of professionals use. This is what a lot of people use. I recommend this because it's cheap and it's a fantastic mouse pad. And this one, compared to, I think this is a Glorious PC Gaming Race. The only reason why I got this one is because I got it for my keyboard, because some of those rubber pads at the bottom of the keyboard actually fell off, and they were actually scratching my desk. So that's why I got this one. But there is a difference in the cloth material between the two. I will tell you that this one is a lot more irritating than this one. So this one, I actually would use it more. I have actually used this one for a long time, but for me personally, I do enjoy a plastic mouse pad over the cloth one just because it irritates my palm a little less. This is actually my new one. And what I wanted to mention about these two, now you can see that this one has perfect texture all over. So you can see that all over. This is the brand new one. So this one has perfect texture all over. The difference between this is that I've actually used my old one I've actually used it for about half a year, if not more, at least 6 or 7 months. And what you can see is I'm trying to get the lighting. I don't know if you guys can tell right there. Do you see how it kind of looks a little bit scratched up? This whole area is now completely smooth. It's got that texture which kind of has a little bit of grip, but here it is completely smooth. I'm gonna try to move my microphone down a little bit. You should be able to hear the difference, this right here and this over here. So you can clearly hear that this has got that friction top, and then this one right here is completely smooth. So after a while of using the old mouse pad, this part right here is pretty much as soft as any plastic can be. This right here is one thing that has kind of bothered me, because I actually had to end up getting a whole new one that doesn't have this, which means that the lifetime for these mouse pads are probably around 4 to 5 months. I did want to make a video because a lot of you guys have been asking about the mouse pad. I do recommend to get at least a mouse pad. If you're playing on a tabletop and you don't have a mouse pad, trust me, get a mouse pad, you will see the difference. So if you've never used it, you don't have a mouse pad, I recommend getting at least one. I mean, you can get this one. There's actually a smaller one for like $9 or less than that, so I definitely recommend getting one. Try it out, you should be able to see a bit of a difference. So I wanted to make this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. None of these stuff that I have are sponsored. All of these things I've bought on my own. This was not a video to promote anything, but if you're gonna end up getting a cloth one, I definitely recommend the SteelSeries one. If you're gonna try a hard pad for higher sensitivity, I recommend the Logitech one. These are the only ones that I've tried so far, so I know some of you guys might be like, oh Nick, you should try this or that. These are the ones that I've tried, so based on all of these are the ones that I can recommend to you guys. So I hope this video has helped out a little bit. If you guys enjoyed these sort of videos, let me know. I'll try to make more explaining other stuff. Otherwise, I love you guys, and I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye. This is not the official setup, but I know a couple of you are going to ask, what desk do I have? This is my old setup. I just wanted to give you guys an idea how my old setup looked like. The thing that annoyed me most about my old desk is this right here. See, I had to put my computer in here, which made it really...